loud it is. It's like we're all having like...
screen.
We're all having a cig or something. Here's a smoke.
Smoke screen.
Well, you can do honors.
Alright, okay, do honors.
Yeah.
I've had a week off.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I've been at work all day.
Right, okay, right. Good evening and welcome to Rhubarb Radio Sport, brought to you in partnership with Arriva Bus, with a nice sign that is now the right way around.
Yes, it is the right way around.
Ian's so happy about the fact that that sign
No,
is
I just won't get any hassle now.
It's not the right way around, supposed to be. I can't read it.
And we are back
Totally thrown off your track there.
on this Tuesday on the back of another exciting weekend of Super League fixtures. Another sort of big day of news today, which we will touch on later, with the England squad. The first of Sean Wayne's tenure. If you can call it a squad, it's more of a training trial group, isn't it? Let's have a look at you and see if I want to call you up to the actual squad. And we are also joined tonight by Tom Kaye, this time on behalf of TeamColostomyUK, and we're looking forward to having a chat to him as we move through the evening. But given how much has gone on in the world of Super League and the fixtures we've seen over the weekend, and given the fact that between us there are a lot of happy fans sat here this Tuesday, let's start with a look back over the weekend's fixtures, and seeing as how we were there doing the commentary, it's probably only right to start with Wakefield Trinity and their win over Salford Red Devils, which was on Sunday.
Yeah, which you provided some absolutely thrilling commentary on.
Brilliant.
Spoke very articulately.
I thought it was like Jack and all, really.
No,
Put people to sleep.
I thought you did
Well,
this
for your first match back of the season,
True.
it was beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate
And
that.
yeah, because you don't realise, well, you actually are out of practice a lot, and my dad said to me, he goes, oh, did it sound alright? He goes, you sound like you're waffling. Sometimes you do, because you're that focused on filling space, you don't want there to be any silence.
True.
That you're so conscious about it that you just waffle.
You're filling me with confidence for Friday, thanks.
You can waffle with the best of it.
Yeah, I can waffle, yeah.
But
Snack on it as potato,
while it wasn't sort of all hands to the pumps for Wakefield on Sunday, it was getting to the point where you felt like they were starting to feel like they needed a result. Not quite backs to the wall, but certainly injuries starting to bite, especially in the halves, enforcing a couple of changes. I know we talked a lot, didn't we, Adam, before we went on air about Max Jowett and the fact he got moved in there.
Which Chris Chester was very much vindicated with
Yeah.
by the full-time whistle. Because I, for one, was quite sceptical about that. Because when I've seen Max Jowett in halves before, I thought, he's not really an half-back.
Mm-hmm.
Probably still in, but he had probably his best game ever. There's probably one going to be at half-back on Sunday. So
I think you can say that about a few of the Wakefield players. I thought they really stepped up. I thought that's the best I've seen Ryan Atkins play in quite a while. I'm not sure if
Quite a few people said that.
a player in his advanced years, so to speak, is going to be able to hit that calibre of game.
Very nice way of putting that there. I like that, yeah.
Advanced years.
Yeah.
Senior.
Yes. Well,
at what point are we in our advanced years?
From a rugby point of view.
I'm glad you've caught it.
Yeah. From a rugby point of view, you'd say sort of.
What is you are in your advanced?
Long gone.
I think once you've crossed that 3-0 number, I think it's sort of glitter ends of your career, I believe.
Especially as an outside back. Yeah, you would be.
Positively geriatric.
Yeah.
I thought he showed some good aggression when he was carrying the ball with Ryan Atkins, and hopefully a little offload for the try that set Tom Johnson up.
Unlucky not to have another assist as well on a break.
Yeah, when Alex Walker inexplicably looking somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think Chris Chester's really pushed it. Milky had a really good game, hasn't he? And bossed it as captain. How did you think he went? Not as good as Chris Chester, clearly.
I was listening to their commentary, so
I thought he probably did what you'd expect of a senior half back in the partnership. I think he probably did enough of a job to take the pressure off off Max Jowett.
He did better than I think he has done in recent weeks, because I think
He had to step up.
I think Jacob Miller's come in for a little bit. He said in press conference afterwards they'd come in for copped a bit of flack, I think, for last year and whatever. Because when Danny Bruce been absent and whatnot, there's just been a lack of something in halves for Wakefield. And I think attacking wise, that's where they've struggled at half. As we spoke about it before, it just looks to be a little bit like they just don't combine well enough. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. But I don't think, even though I don't want to say they combined very well on Sunday, what they did is they kind of got the structures working.
The basic structures worked really, really well on Sunday. Particularly for that spell in the second half where they got to the ends of sets, kicked to corners, they got the try off it, they got a couple of repeat sets off it, and while ever they stuck to that, I thought Wakefield looked really good on Sunday.
I felt they mixed it up a bit more than usual as well, Wakefield. I think against Castleford they were very much one out, which works somewhat if you get into an armour slightly in the first half against Castleford and it went down afterwards. But I felt they mixed it up a little bit on the Sunday. They get ball out a bit, and a lot of players running on inside lines, a lot of players running on to drop-offs, but further out wide. So like ball would come to like Ryan Atkins and he might drop off to someone inside out.
He made a lot of his yardage, didn't he? Coming back in.
Jay Pitts, I'm thinking about as well. Kept coming in, but
Good sign.
Yeah,
very good.
Very solid. Did 80 minutes on Sunday. No frills, but very, very.
Just honest player, isn't it? Very much.
80 minutes.
Two Matty Asher, so it's not going to be two Matty Asher.
Very similar, yeah. Very similar. So, from a coach who has maybe relieved a little bit of pressure this weekend to one that maybe potentially finds himself maybe under a little bit, I'm going to jump over to the Hull FC Catalan game and the.
I think that's a waiting game, to be honest.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. Don't worry, we'll come to that. But the Hull FC Catalan game and the sort of unlikely comeback, it seemed to me. I remember we were flicking through the scores, weren't we, on Sunday, and it seemed like every time we looked, it was seesaw. It was the score. And
28 points to 10 up with Hull FC.
Yeah.
At one point in the second half, I think there were only 20 minutes to go at that point. I think at one point there was still a good 8 points in the kind of lead for I think the last 5 minutes, and then just kind of 2 minutes before time Maloney scored. And
so that's more disappointing than a straight loss, isn't it?
When they look back, I imagine they'll be quite disappointed. So a lot of it was soft tries, nothing spectacular about it in my opinion anyway, but a bit of an odd team like that, I think, where they one week the world beaters and next minute they how did they lose that game?
Yeah.
Do we think it's fair to say that maybe Hull lift against so-called perceived bigger teams? You know, with the greatest of respect to Catalan, the reason I thought that result was such a surprise is not because of the quality of player Catalan have got, because to a man they're probably squad-wise right up there. We've spoke about that before, the Malonis and the Falaus of this world. But I wouldn't have said that they had the mental fortitude to come from sort of 18 points down. No Catalan team that I can think of in recent memory has had that. It's kind of been.
Would you say then that Hull sat back on the laurels and thought, "But we've got this one"?
Or is it fitness?
I think it's mentality. I think Lee Radford's alluded to as much with a similar set of players last season as well. It's something he's kind of. I've always thought, listening to him, he's very honest, but I've also thought as a player working under him listening to some of the things that he says and thinking
that's too honest. That
is that aimed at me? I don't know. That's obviously behind closed doors. I might know who, but it's a bit. I think he's going to be a man under pressure if he don't produce this year,
especially with that squad he's got.
There's money being spent. There's two good players and too good of a squad there to not come away with something.
Or at least be challenging, getting to a final. If they don't get to a final this year, then I think it's kind of where they go.
I think the fans as well expect, because the fans are massive for all what they expect and what they perceive to want as a fan base is completely different to what they've achieved over the past couple of years.
Well, that's interesting, because I don't know if anyone saw Steve McNamara's interview post-match, but he commented on sort of the Hull FC fans actually being part of his team's approach, and how when Hull are on top, the fans are probably right up there in terms of the best in the league. When Hull are struggling, the fans can actually be to the detriment of Hull FC in terms of how much that they.
They'll let you know.
Yes, yeah,
Affect
especially in the
you
case
as a
of-
performance. I don't know if you saw this, but Adam Pearson in his match day programme now. Have you seen what he had a bit of a go at? Well, not a bit of a go, but it was alluding to Catalans being very. I think he said this must have the financial. Whoever organises the finances must be a magician. He said. So I think he's alluding to how are they kind of staying below the cap, which I felt was interesting given Hull FC's
current
squad as well. So, but yeah, Adam Bauer. Adam Bauer.
Maybe they're
posted
all playing for free, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Wives are very busy though.
Volunteers. Volunteers.
So a couple more games just to touch on. I thought actually probably there were a couple of big surprises this weekend. One being the Leeds Warrington game, but the other for me was probably the Huddersfield Wigan game. Given how both teams have started, I thought Huddersfield have started really strongly.
I think Huddersfield has started strongly, but when you look at the teams that played,
True.
If we put it into context with the teams that Wigan have played,
Yes, yeah.
I'd kind of
Err on the side of caution with their
I
results.
think Super League will be as close as it's ever been this year, though. So
I've got to admit, it's very exciting
that,
starting. Everybody's beating everybody.
That's what I think. I think I was just about to say like, we can say that, but I think Wakey beat Warrington.
Yeah.
And Leeds have hammered Warrington. I don't think there's going to be I think St Helens and Wigan are going to be two. Maybe that go out there.
There's no standout consistent yet, because you looked at Hull's performance against Warrington. I mean, St Helens, then next minute they get in. There's no one's carried that form from beginning to now yet.
Likewise, Hull's performance against Leeds in the first round. Likewise, I didn't think St Helens were overly convincing against Toronto this week. You know what I mean? They didn't sort of.
I think with St Helens team, they always seem to do the basics right, don't they? Which
Yeah.
gets them through a lot rather than. But when they're on the game, aren't they?
Yeah.
When your forwards on top, it sort of dominates the game for you. And you've just got to have that little bit of flash or flair from your half-backs to carry you the rest of the way.
I think we've got to remember the conditions at the start of this year as well. That's a big leveler for a lot of teams, is them conditions. And we've had it every single weekend. We've had the wind, the rain, the snow, you name it.
True.
That explains why Castle joint top then.
But in terms of the hottest of hot seats, it probably don't go beyond Steve Price at Warrington now, does it? Do we think after Friday? Well, not just Friday's performance, is it? It's someone to have sat at me.
I think more than the performance, the result on Friday, the performance.
Yeah.
I think Leeds played outstanding, but Warrington actually that bad? Did I watch a Warrington team that bad?
Well, I mean,
Leeds wouldn't have beaten an outfit like Wigan on that showing.
It was.
Wigan. So
Warrington.
to say that Warrington are getting nailed, it's not good, is it?
A lot of pressure coming from the signings they've made as well, because they've not quite turned up yet.
Like you want
non-existent.
I like that against Wakefield as well.
And I mean, someone threw a stat at me. Someone threw a stat at Alex last night, which was quite funny. That Warrington haven't won an away game since the last away game that they won, technically, was the Challenge Cup final. That's the last time they've won a game
away from
the Holywell Jones Stadium.
It's back statistic, yeah.
That's scary.
Bottom of the league sort of form, is that really?
Completely, yeah.
Well, a lot of Warrington fans were happy last season with our Steve Price and wanted him gone. So I think he's my tip to be gone first. I think he'll be gone.
And I mean, there's other stuff. I mean, I also think they went too light on the bench. They've got is it Akawala? Not getting picked. Absolutely outstanding overseas forward.
Yeah, powerhouse.
Just not
Again, last season,
Well,
copped a lot of flack
Well,
from Warrington fans, yeah.
Agar said before the game, didn't he? It'll be a big, strong game up the middle today.
And
I heard that, and I've got to admit, I did, and he reflected on his bench, did that.
And he started with 3 pops.
That's right.
Prior at loose forward.
Yeah, and I thought, do you know what, he's going for it here. And then, as you say, you looked at the teams and you thought, how does he get the Warrington are going to go right up the middle with this? Because they started with the props, and then after that they didn't
I didn't really have much. No, it was interesting. But good result from a Leeds point of view.
I think they needed it. I think the fans wanted it as well. I were at the whole game, and it was one of the worst performances I've seen in a long time from Leeds. It was non-existent.
I'm interested to see what it'll look like when Leeds have to play away.
Yeah.
It's got a couple of good victories on the back-to-back.
Yeah.
But I think they're a different outfit when that Headingley crowd gets behind in the Leeds.
Well, you only have to look at how much sort of it sort of pumps the likes of Connie Harrell up. I think it makes him a better player.
You could do some of them dances, Adam.
Why do I do that?
Did you not see
Did
Connie?
you see Errol's dance?
No.
They just do it march. Just as a march.
No.
No. We need a bit of twerking from you.
Bit
Come
of
on.
like a stand-up
It's a
work.
little bit more, yeah, it's a little bit more technical. I'll find it for you, hold on.
Technicality is not my forte.
So while
While I
Emma
search for this.
finds a video of Connie Harrell's,
I can't do like an example.
no.
We'll show you an example on the
Yeah.
technical.
That's what I do. If I
We did
can't
say
do
we're
it,
technical,
I
didn't we?
get
It's on
some
the
technology.
technology.
But the other big piece of rugby league news, now we've talked about the fixtures, is the announcement today of a 31-man, would you call it a train-on squad, from Sean Wayne, the New England coach, of course, ahead of the return of the Ashes at the end of the year. And I think it's fair to say that in terms of people's criticisms of the squads that Wayne Bennett has picked in the past, it seems like Sean Wayne has completely flipped the script for me.
I think he's gone on current
Taking him out
form.
for tea, isn't he?
Good and bad points, in my opinion. I think you can see that he's completely gone away from Wayne Bennett's, whereas there's no Hastings in there, no Blake, Austin, sorry, should I say. But you've also got, I don't think Gale is deserved a place in there. But McShane, I think it's good to see him finally get a chance in that. So I think he's deserved a couple of appearances at least in the past, and he's not had fair crack of whip, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's gone on. He seems to have gone. Whereas, in my opinion, Wayne Bennett chose players with names, and just put them in a position to get them in the team. And we know, looking at Toronto, looking at the big team, that doesn't work.
No.
The teams that work are the teams that graft for each other, and he seems to have gone, in my opinion, on form. And I think he's gone, like for example, Paul McShane. He's gone, do you know what, he's started the season outstanding, give him a shot. Harry Newman at Leeds.
Yeah.
Only a young kid, started the season outstanding, doesn't look out of place in Super League, and he's giving him a shot. And that's what it's all about, and that's what I think Sean Wayne will bring to the party.
Thinking of his time at Wigan, it was
Yeah.
all very much, if you are showing that you are good enough, you will get picked.
Yep.
Don't matter how old you are, don't matter how many games you've got under your belt, if you're performing better than the next man,
You'll be in.
you're going to be in.
I'm just looking through it now and just trying to think if I can see any odd ones really.
Jake Connor seems to be the one that people are latching on to as a bit of a
It's that
surprise.
Marmite, isn't it? It depends very much how your vision of rugby league is depending on whether you like or you dislike Jake Connor.
I think the thing with Jake Connor is, arguably, his problem is he's too versatile.
Yes, yeah.
And he's not, genuinely, in an England team, and this is where he's probably loved Wayne Bennett, because in an England team, you realistically, you should be picking the best people in the best positions,
Yeah.
in my opinion, anyway.
He's good cover, essentially.
But yeah, he'd probably be a good one for bench, but nowadays, in today's game, with the interchanges as they are,
It depends
very
if
rare
you
you get a versatile player on the bench, because you want big lads or
if
you
you
want
if
He's
you
a
run with
spot
one
player,
hooker,
wouldn't
you
he?
get away with it.
What I do like is picked out in out centres. Like it won't look like there's going to be a shoe on in centres because he's picked like Dan Sargent and he's picked like
Sargentson were very impressive on Sunday.
Yeah.
We were singing his praises.
Josh Griffin. I think that's the first time he got picked and he got
Yeah,
picked
it is,
in the Wayne Bennett.
yeah, it is.
And for me, that's
Just pick people in positions.
And Josh Griffin is from the standout centre and
strong, quick.
yeah.
Oh, very good.
And I don't know why it's taken till now to pick him, to be honest.
I also like the fact that he's come out and said he's got sort of, I think it's 6 or 7 NRL players just on a watch list. It's not saying that these players are going to get
Just because they're in
Straight
there,
in.
guaranteed, yeah.
a bit like he's done with the Super League players. He's looking to wait and see if they're performing at their club level. Because I think it's fair to say some of them probably weren't last year. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull round. Any sort of glaring omissions do we think from that squad that we'd have
Tell you what would be
Like to
interesting.
see Ned Lowe.
Who do you think he'd pick out? Zach Hardaker and Sam Tompkins?
For full back.
I'd be interested to see that one.
If you go off form, it's got to be Sam, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you
Tompkins
go
at
off,
full-back,
if you go off
yeah.
form, it's got to be Tompkins. If you go off people that I'd rather have, I'd say, I think I don't like them.
Can I just, I mean, you're going to all call me biased here, but I am
Bias.
slightly surprised that Jack Walker's only made the Knights and not the full England.
Yeah, I'm calling you biased.
I'm slightly surprised given how he started the season.
What about Niall Evans? He's better than Jack Walker.
His development's only going up. To say the level he's been playing 3 years ago,
Some delusion coming from this side.
he's not looked uncomfortable at the jump up.
I think his link plays what's shone to me this year. It's improved the link.
Under the high ball as well, he looks...
Stephen Ratchford as well. I think he's better than Ratchford. Tompkins, Hardaker.
Is Ratchford not the same as Jake Connor? Should we not be having the
I
same
think Ratchford.
conversation?
I think for me, Ratchford is a fullback.
I agree, I think Ratchford is a fullback, but I think I'd pick Walker over Ratchford.
What I'd like to see as well, actually thinking about it, is in give Lomax going to halves where he's played his rugby for the last 3 years in that Saints team that's been outstanding.
Agree with that. I think.
Hastings is not in there, is he?
No.
I'm looking at halfbacks. It's Luke Gale. It's Lomax. And once you've got outside of those two,
There's not really an obvious.
there's really an obvious halfback, which is a bit odd.
See, to me,
That's why you kind of had your Jake Connors.
I mean, to me, I still think Hastings should be in there.
He's come out in the press and said he obviously knew what Wayne Bennett might do. I think Sean Wayne might do, but he said he's wholeheartedly England and he has no sort of backward to think it might change.
And I think when we've had a conversation on here in the past, we've been sort of quick to say that out of all the people that sort of threw the hat in the ring for England, Great Britain, whatever you want to call it, I think Jackson Hastings was the one we least had the problem with, given his age, given that he was potentially committing 10 years of his best rugby to the cause, so to speak. It sort of sat better with me personally than someone like Lachlan Coote, who is on the back end, on the out.
And he's played for Scotland, etc.
Yeah.
It was Great Britain.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing I want to mention before we possibly move on is Budine Thompson's
Red
the
card.
ban, the red card, the
come
subsequent
on,
disciplinary.
Well, I might as well be controversial.
There
I'm
we
back
go.
this week.
There we go.
Controversial, here we go.
Like, I think we're going to have a similar view on this. Right, we've witnessed a shoulder charge to the head, and for me, it was quite dangerous play.
Yep.
It's a definite, at least 1 match ban,
100%.
if not more.
But
And it's got zero ban. Now, I'm not just going to shout conspiracy, but is this because Toronto have got problems with
let's be honest.
fielding teams?
They've got not enough players to play, have they? So instead of fielding 16 next week, they're now fielding 17.
We've got
I'm so glad I brought this up now. I'm so glad.
I think
If you don't realise, I don't really like Toronto.
no, I think it is. Conspiracy is the word. I remember watching Halifax when they played Halifax the first game in Championship, and Richard Whiting, probably one of the worst spear tackles I've ever seen, tipped up James Saltonstall, and it would sheer 90-degree drop, and disciplinary found him not guilty, and I was like, that's how is that? If anything, like I say, it's a 1 match ban minimum, and I just
What message does it send out? What message does that send out to
from
everyone else?
we've got a former referee in the room here. What
It was a bit biased.
a little bit biased.
No, I'm not. No. Defensive.
Can you imagine Jaffa refereeing Toronto?
You'd love it. I'd love to watch that. We should commentate on it.
Yeah, I'd love it.
They'd have no players week after. The holding centre.
Go on then, what's the question?
But no, I can understand why it was a red card live in game, although I have seen worse given less.
Agree.
I'm just more interested in sort of the grading and the fact that I believe it only got a grade A, which is the lowest standard of the grade.
Because if they'd give it higher, then it wouldn't.
Well, that's what I mean. What's the difference?
The rule is deliberate contact to the head. And in my mind, there was deliberate contact.
Do you think he was aiming for the head? Because I'm not sure he was when I saw it. It's definitely reckless, and he's going in with the shoulder.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I think.
I don't think it was deliberate, but like I said, I think it was reckless play.
The best example you can see of like non is sort of made up Masillo
On Alex Miller,
where
yeah.
he
going the
shifts
opposite
his
way.
momentum and he's a late drop, but it was an aggressive tackle, but by no means was he aiming for that.
If he got him in ribs,
No.
he would have stood up.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Yeah.
very few tackles that contact with the head are deliberate.
I think
Very few.
the biggest thing here, if you look at Chris Hills from that first game of the season,
I was just about to do
Yeah.
now.
that there, he got 3 games, if I remember rightly.
3 games,
Yeah. For what they claimed was deliberate contact to the head.
Yeah.
I don't think that was deliberate. That was a last resort. I need to
Desperate
stop it.
try.
Desperate
Yeah.
attempt.
I've always
Yeah.
got issues with them ones that they give where they go sort of
Oh,
over the top
Yeah.
of the I don't think
Yeah.
that in particular is high because you're not actually going to hit anything
No.
dangerous most of the time. So
But I think if that's 3 matches for that, you've got to at least have
At least one.
at least one, possibly 2. Because if we want to try and stamp that out, you've got to set an example.
third man.
My question would be, in the Championship, what would have happened to that player? Would that have just been a don't do it again, or would they have got a ban?
Probably got a ban. And let's
And
be
I
fair.
think they got a ban.
Let's be fair, Bodine Thompson hasn't got the cleanest record in that. It's not like we're talking about first offence,
No,
sort of, so we can get away with giving the slap on the wrist.
no, not at all.
Yeah,
And then the week before, obviously, Kevin Brown with the headbutt.
2 matches for that.
2 matches for that, and yes, he's gone in.
Was
He's
that
gone in,
deliberate
but
contact with her?
well, no, because that's tackle technique nowadays. You coach kids to get in tight with your head,
Not
get
that
your
tight.
head tight to the body, and that to me was just tackle technique gone wrong, rather than deliberate contact.
Just takes one bad.
He just that's it,
Yeah,
takes
happens,
one
doesn't it?
person in the wrong place. Whereas that he knows he's not allowed to go in with his shoulder like that to tackle, and he did it.
And I mean, it could have had the same effect, and this is where I think some rugby players are completely daft. He could have had the same motion, the same effect, and if he'd have stuck his arm out,
There
we
you go.
wouldn't have been saying anything any
Exactly.
different. You know, it might have maybe got
So you
10,
could have-
10 minutes and that'd have
He
been
could
it.
have faked putting his arm out,
Yeah.
and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Because you can do that. A little bit daft.
Grey area, a lot of grey areas, unfortunately. With
So we're saying consistency. of
consistency should be the key. Is it though?
Should be.
So the 50 Shades of Grey areas. Right.
I thought we were talking about Ryan Atkins in there.
I thought we'd changed the
That was the
midnight
midnight
one.
version.
That was the midnight version.
That could make name a podcast title.
On it.
Boom.
So then, that's kind of the big news from the world of rugby league for this weekend. And now we're going to spend a little bit of time talking to our guest, which is Tom Kaye, who is hiding over
Like
in
a
the corner
million
there.
hellos you need to say to various people.
Yeah,
Graham
he's,
says he likes your hoodie, but apparently doesn't like mine. So thanks.
he's a big Purple fan. But all the perks of it, as we like to say in the WhatsApp group.
So, Tom, I suppose the obvious place to start is tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here tonight.
Yeah, my name's Thomas Kaye. Formal introduction. I sort of played rugby at PDRL, you know, for myself. You know me through that. But I also am ambassador for TeamColostomyUK, which is basically colostomites, people with stoma bags who sort of come together. We'll try to get every month, but Giovanni don't pull his finger out.
This is your chance to pressure him.
Yeah.
So, but no, yeah. So we try.
He's watching.
So we
as
try
well.
to get we get together. A lot of it, unfortunately, for me is a lot of it's based down south. But from that seeing that, there's some good examples of where the rugby league's branching out. So we've got a big game coming up in end of this month, Charlie Panthers. A couple of special guests which we sort of will be announced very shortly. Some very big guests, should we say? Yeah, it's good.
Tell us how it came about.
Yeah, it was originally formed down south through Giovanni. He works for the TeamColostomyUK charity, and he sort of branched into rugby, God knows how, and that sort of stemmed up. He managed to play the PDRL United up in Featherstone, which sort of I got involved with unwillingly, and it sort of stemmed from there really. So it's good, it's really good because I've stopped playing rugby when I was 15, and that was for through not being told not to buy the doctors, and also sort of pressure put on myself and sort of depression, etc., things like that. And I didn't think about sort of playing rugby again until I saw that and the PDRL really. So and that was I started playing a year and a bit ago. So PDRL United won my first game. So and I've loved it ever since. So got my love back for it. So really good.
So apart from the playing rugby aspect, is there extra aspects to it?
Yeah, it's sort of been a leader, sort of showing not to be me essentially. One of the things I've always spoke about with Giovanni and then anyone outside associated with any sort of issues through Team Colostomy is anything's possible really. I've sort of took myself to some dark places, not playing what I love to do, took me some bad places, so but sort of seeing that there is support there, and you can play rugby. We've had some big games. We're playing from PDRL. We run each other 100 miles per hour, tackle each other like we're trying to knock 7 bells out of each other. So it's possible, because until I had that support and that right guidance from the likes of Team Colostomy and looking through that, I'd have still be sat in my sofa at home, twiddling my thumbs, depressed, etc. The rest, and it sort of relit my fire really. So it's good. We've taken it from a level where it was very quiet before, just through 1 or 2 games a year, and from PDRL United it's really kicked off. So we're having a game once every 2 months, really round about that. Charlie, we're going to do London Nines this year. That's going to be his first form of competitive rugby. So that should be good. Got a new kit. We're looking to work with Rugby M a little bit.
Is it going to be purple?
Yeah, so it's going to be purple and no purple and no green this time. So I believe.
You're really good if you all painted yourselves purple as well.
So
Completely purple.
look like purple Smurfs. So, but no, it's good, and it includes everybody. These girls that play for us. There's a girl, Rebecca, who's had cancer. She's got stoma, and she's absolute warrior.
This might be a stupid question. Does everyone have to have a stoma to play?
No, there's people who are friends who are supporting the family. Right. There's Oliver, who some plays. I set him up for his first try, by the way. Played against Castleford.
Oh, not like getting that in there, was it?
So I felt like a proud figure doing that. So, but no, it's really good.
I played at against Bramley, at Bramley, didn't I?
Yeah. You did, yeah, against political animals.
Yeah.
So less animals, more
So
political.
if you want to have a game, Adam, you can quite happily come along.
So yeah,
I
you
wouldn't
can,
invite him to anything involving
A bit
politicians.
unfitted to play there, definitely.
So yeah, it's good. It's really inclusive. We look to involve everybody. We don't say like, no, you can't play because of this. It's quite supportive and sort of a family atmosphere, because we look to no one's above anybody. I've spoke to many a person at silly hours of morning, just where you think, right, make sure everyone's okay. So ultimately that's it. It's making
It's about
sure,
raising awareness, isn't it, as well?
because you can do anything. I'm the great example where I was in a position where I thought I can't do this, it's impossible, and I've gone to the extreme of getting involved again, and it's really good. It's a great charity. I'm planning to do a couple more bits from this year, hopefully a 24-hour golf day. So, which won't make me any better as a golfer, but it might raise some money for Team Colostomy for out there.
24 hours of golf, you're going to like golf for that.
Mini golf.
No, I play lots of
Crazy golf.
Crazy golf, that'd be me.
So golf is one of my other passions, so that's good.
So rewind a little bit then. What's your story then, like?
Right, so
If you're prepared to talk.
no,
about
yeah, I'm fine to talk about it. So one of the things is got to be open, because, like I said before, my aim for what I do is to stop someone doing what I did in the past. So I started from an early age, around about 7, just bad guts, just didn't know how to handle it, and I got seen quite quickly, and I had ulcerative colitis in my large intestine, cut a lot out, left me with about 9, so left me with a stoma. Had that.
That's really young age as well.
It's one of those things where it's good to have it young, because you can adapt to it, so, and you can sort of get coached, and then I got to about, had that for about 4 years, really struggled, didn't play my sport, that's why I went and took myself to a dark place, didn't get any support.
Was that before you had any kind of, not intervention, but like operation or anything like that? So you're struggling with it?
Struggling just to manage with it, I just thought I didn't, there was Twitter, Facebook went around then, so there were no like having a look and you could see TeamColostomyUK.
Yeah.
So it was sort of very much, you had to support yourself, and I wasn't supporting myself. And then I couldn't wait to get it off. Had it reversed, it didn't work, it failed. So they had to take it out again when I was 16 and put a bag back on for a short period. Had that reversed, then if there's one thing Emma knows me for, I'm stubborn as day long, and I kept on going, it wasn't working, kept on going till about 4 years ago, and they said to stop being silly, you need to have the bag back on. Because one thing I always said to myself was I won't have it back on, so it's just, I don't want to be in a bad place again, and sort of saved my life since then really. So there's some major operations which are involved, but it's about having, one of the things that the charity tries promoting is support there, the awareness that, right, yeah, times can be tough, it's a tough thing to live with, but if there's always someone there to help you out really. There's never a question that no one's ashamed to answer or should be too ashamed to ask. So it's, and through the rugby especially, I think rugby's a great sport because it's team mentality. You've got 13 people on the pitch, whether that's boys, girls, men, whatever, who have to effectively tough it up, and you're only as good as your weakest player, and you've got to support people, and so it's a good really sport to generate, to sort of attach yourselves to, because you're always there to support one another and back one another up really. So no, it's quite good. I've really enjoyed it. I think I've made good and bad points for rugby, so I get quite involved too much sometimes. But no, it's good. It's good. I think I like to mould myself around a slightly slimmer Scott Morell, should we say? Yeah.
You're an Halifax fan then?
No, I'm from Morley, so no, Scott.
It's a good job you didn't say that, because I was going this way.
So no,
Ian's got an aversion to
Halifax. We've got history with Halifax, but we won't go there. So, but no, I model myself around him, so not very quick, but I've got a bit of a rugby brain.
Good rugby brain.
Yeah.
I was a Liam Finn, one might say.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think I don't know if you've seen today, talking of the rugby family and all coming together, the PDRL is going to be back at Magic Weekend this week.
Yeah. So that
got announced earlier, didn't it?
Yeah, it's Warrington and
Wigan
this
Yeah,
time.
it is.
which is nice for Wigan, obviously the sort of latest team to join our little adventure. So
Some
to
good
say.
lads there. Yeah, there's some
Absolutely,
really
yeah.
nice lads there.
Got a bit of numbers, didn't they, last year?
Yeah, it's quite a big catchment area. Warrington have got quite an established team there, good numbers. Saints, sort of the middle area. Their players went to Warrington, but they didn't the others didn't sort of kick over to Wigan. So
I think the sort of they're feeling in a good place at the minute at Wigan. I've had a chat with Scott. So I think he'll be doing everything he can at the minute to push that on in what is now, I believe, an official role for him, which I think he's very happy about, and it'll be a really good experience for them, because a lot of us have had, or through various things, have had the opportunity to have these big experiences through, whether that's PDRL, like us getting to play at Old Trafford, and
Guys played at Anfield.
Leeds played at Anfield last year, and Warrington going to Australia.
Alright,
all that
you
side.
can talk about you going to Australia as well.
Oh, did we get back round to Australia? Yeah. Do you know I've been to Australia?
There's a shocker.
it gives some people who probably never thought they'd have that chance to play sport. I think one of the things like myself, and I imagine Ben's doing for Wakefield, is it's not necessarily about the level you're playing at, it's about what you can pass on to others. So there's people who haven't played rugby before, who for whatever aspects of their life, who you can pass a little bit of skill on to, or a bit of maturity, rugby maturity, or whatever skill it is, and if it helps them become a better player or more confident as a person, it's something you can sort of take away with you. Right, I've done my good deed for today.
It's as much about the character building as it is about
Massively,
the rugby, isn't it?
Massively. There's a lad who played for Leeds who's before, won't mention names, but he quite low confidence, but he went on his first date last year, so he went on absolute warrior. So he's gone from a position with very low confidence, still there, don't get me wrong, but he's gone on a date, and that's massive.
Bravest part of that is probably telling all you what are training, isn't it?
Exactly. So, and it's about, and that's the thing with PDRL is it's some people who probably scientifically, medically, someone might say he shouldn't play, but we're within his limits, we're protected, and whoever wants to take it serious and do it at 100 miles per hour, it's done in the right way. And for people who might say, well, he should be on pitch, it's still done in a form that they can enjoy the game. So it's really good.
And I think, just bringing it all back round to, marry.
Leeds, Rhinos.
Just, marrying up sort of what TeamColostomyUK and PDRL are doing, and what the wider rugby league community is doing in general. Sort of that opportunity to play, I think now is wider and more available to more people, especially those who might have previously not had that opportunity than it probably ever has been before. And I think in a lot of senses, rugby league does a lot of things not right. It really does, and we talk about them a lot.
Yep.
But I think it's been really nice, Tom, tonight to have you on and be able to talk about one of the things that I actually think rugby league is leading the way on. And I'm biased because I'm involved in that.
I agree.
But I think in terms of accessibility as a sport, at all levels we are right up there.
I'm not going to lie, in the years I've been involved with rugby league, one of the highlights of mine, I think I said this the first week I was in here, one of the highlights was me seeing that PDRL game at Anfield last year. The hair on the back of my neck stood up.
Sure.
Just as people came out, it was amazing. So honestly, I take my hat off to you.
I think Young
Really
scored
good.
to try in the corners. I think he's glassed his boots. He's put him in a big frame case.
Don't blame him. Don't blame him. But honestly, I thought that was one of the, in all the time in rugby, that was one of my really good memories of rugby league as a full community family game. But it's inclusive to everybody.
Being on the opposite end of that was one of my worst. I think there was a young kid who stepped Simon Brown. And below a certain age, you've got to wear red shorts. You can't be tackled. And me being who I am, sort of chased after him, and he just put handbrake on, and I just couldn't stop. And I absolutely mowed him over, and I was like, oh, swallow me up, please. And I just wanted to walk off pitch, and I felt for poor kid. And there were no avoiding him whatsoever.
That's what you're telling us. Alright.
I'm not.
You're gonna throw yourself at
Trust me, I'm competitive, but I'm not that competitive. I can tell you
You
now.
mentioned swinging arm as you
Yeah.
go on with him.
That shoulder barge that we talked about. How many games did you get?
Yeah, just cannonballed him.
So you know they're playing
Yeah,
the
no
week
players.
after.
No players the week after.
Rep it for it.
So I think we're going to move on to talk about the upcoming fixtures this week. But I think before we do, it's only fair to say if you've heard anything, you've liked anything you've heard tonight, and you're thinking you're wanting to get involved either with TeamColostomyUK or with PDRL.
Actually, can I just ask about London Nines?
Gosh.
Yeah, I know it's one of your favourite places.
It is, so obviously you're putting the team, is the squad already decided?
Roughly,
Are
yeah.
you playing?
I will be playing, yeah. So I'll be staying down London with Graham. So Jolly Boys outing. So we've got a sort of squad there. So which we're going to look to include a bit of everybody really. So instead of so everyone can see it, the serious forming again.
Sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I know Emma really raved about that earlier in the year, didn't you, London Nines? So.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best games I've been to.
Nice competitive form of rugby for myself. So
Yeah.
can't go wrong with
I'm
that.
sure you'll have a lovely time. But yeah, just if you thinking you're wanting to get involved in either one of those forms, I'm sure if you drop a comment, either one of us or someone who is involved with either setup who may or may not have been listening tonight, we'll be more than happy to point you in the right direction. So, should we do this quick fire fixtures? I'll be in charge for a change because I want to set up fence for once. We'll call
I
out.
won money last weekend, didn't I?
Did you?
Yeah.
What's that?
What?
On all of the guessing who's going to win.
Alright, so we'll shout out the fixture and then we'll go down the line and just pick a winner and we'll see where we are. So, 2 games on a Thursday this week. I assume one of them must be a catch-up game.
It's normal Sunday.
Thursday night, live on Sky Sports, Leeds versus Toronto.
Leeds.
Toronto.
Yeah. Ow.
I want to say it.
Leeds.
No, Leeds. Yeah.
Emma.
Yeah,
Saints Huddersfield is also on the Thursday this week, weirdly.
Saints.
Saints.
Saints a bounce back.
Saints.
I think Saints. Emma?
I said Saints already.
Saints already? Oh, Saints and...
Didn't even really need a response to it, that one.
No, not really. Right, okay, so probably a little bit trickier to pick are the next two. Wakefield and Hull is the first game.
Depends which Wakefield team turns up, and it depends which Hull team turns up. But I'm gonna go.
But remember, you are.
I am summarising
You're
that
making
game.
a debut.
I know. So if they lose, I'm gonna be sacked.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm going for a Wakefield win. Close though, by 2 points.
Oh, that's
I
very
think Wakefield
specific.
will get it.
Emma thinks Wakefield. Tom?
Wakefield close, yeah.
Hull.
I think Hull. I think someone's going to get a shellacking from
I
this
know
whole
what
team.
I'm saying. I don't think we'll get a shocking.
No, but I think
I'm hoping that happens at Edinburgh.
someone's going to get a bounce back out there. Someone's going to get that.
But I think that
Come on,
Wakefield's lack of half backs at the minute will tell.
Yeah, he might be back on the same.
But Fafita might be back that
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
Arona might be
might
back
be
that
back.
side. Danny Brough with
Touch
I believe
and go.
touch and go. I don't think he'll play right. So if David Fafita comes back, he gives that team an entire new lift, doesn't he? And yeah, that'd be some pack. You talk about Hull's pack. You've got Tanganoa, Fafita, Kolchak, Green's no, he's not small.
Yeah.
Arona, Westerman. That's a big pack.
Very impressed by Westerman on Sunday.
Westerman's been very good so far
Yeah.
this year. I think he'll be Wakefield's player of the season, mate.
Next up then, I'd hate to say it, but a game that could potentially cost a man his job on the Friday. Warrington, Castleford.
Castleford.
I think Castleford.
It's at Warrington, innit?
Oh, you going
It's
to
that way,
I'm gonna have to say fellas.
Hey.
Sorry, I got that. No, I'm gonna have to say Warrington.
Right, Tom.
Probably Warrington at home.
See, we're pretty split down even tonight. Aren't we? Split
The
down.
big stage. Castleford never perform on the big stage. They'll perform under the radar. As soon as they seem to hit top form.
Was Halliwell Jones
Big
Stadium
games.
big stage?
They have class for a
What a
bit.
joke.
They have like 4 weeks. They're a bit of an up and down team, peaks and troughs.
Now.
Yeah.
Featherstone won London last week.
Yeah.
We didn't get that in, did we? Sorry.
You just did.
Ah, thank you.
And then, last but not least, Catalans, Salford.
Catalan.
Catalan, they're at home.
I think Catalan.
That's Salford for me. I think they do a good win.
Catalan are at home, are they?
Yeah.
I do think Salford won't be as bad as we were against Wakefield.
I'd
again.
agree with that. I don't think that's
And I think,
possible.
and I think provided
Not
what
starting the
again,
season well though, have they, Salford?
it's what Catalan Titans up. You don't know what you're gonna get with them.
So there was always going to be a big downer after how they finished last year.
Catalan, yeah, Catalan. Catalan. I'm just gonna go for safe.
Have you picked favourites all the way through? I think you have.
Did I?
Apart from Wakey, maybe.
No,
I know you
I
picked
said
some.
no.
Alright, then you did, then you.
I'm West biased than you.
Yeah, right, anyway, those are your fixtures this
Not
coming
Sunday.
weekend. No Sunday games.
That championship game.
Well,
Yeah, let's go through championship. Let's see how good you
Championship.
really are.
We all go for one, shall we?
That's the one, that's the way. There is a game on Sunday, isn't there?
There's no Super League game on Sunday.
Oh no, there is. I'm just not.
Oh, is it?
Not
Oh.
scroll far enough. Wigan Hull
Oh,
I
well,
would just like to
this-
say Hull KR's not been mentioned, so there must be somewhere.
Again, we'll just say whichever team are playing them.
Wigan.
That's it, past Wigan.
Yeah, Wigan.
Okay, now you may move on.
Go on,
Okay.
championship.
Oh,
Championship.
no, we're looking at stats. Top Ben Crooks is the top try scorer.
Was it
I
really?
mean, he got 4 against Wakey, but
I think
that just shows how
That was a good
bad
start,
you
wasn't
are.
it?
That, doesn't
That was
it?
a good start.
Ben Crooks got 4 and he's top try scorer because of it.
I think there's one game in the championship that really stands out for me this weekend. Because I actually think I've been a little bit surprised by the fact Lee have started so hot.
They've gone down there. I think they've seen a gap in the market where the last few years, obviously you've had Toronto there, who everybody knew were going to win the league with the team they had. This year there's not that team because London have not, in my opinion,
They've lost a lot.
they've lost a lot of players and they've not replaced with great players.
No.
And I think, although, like I've just mentioned about Fev on Sunday, I really do. I still expected to go out, if I'm being honest, go to London, away at London. Team who's just come down from Super League full time.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Fev to win, if I'm
Good
being
at home.
honest.
Very good at
But
home.
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
And I've watched the highlights of the game. I didn't go down. I watched the highlights, and honestly, you see the highlights of the game, and it looks like it should be the other way around. Fev should have been the full time team, and London looked like they were struggling.
Fev to me, and you know,
Fev have got a good team.
big praise for your team here. Ian, I think they're taking this very, very seriously this year. You can
Season
tell
one,
how
yeah.
they've recruited.
Season one massive. Keeping him was big. I think he's a different class in Championship.
He is, but he's not been there for the last 3 games. He got banned.
Who was that something?
Gaines, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gaines. He were at Bradford, wasn't he? And they had a fallout, him and Tom Kaye.
Yeah.
What did he get banned for?
He got banned for dumping somebody in a friendly at the beginning of the year. So we've played 3-1 through without him. So
I think it's your back. When I watched you against Toronto, I thought they did well. Yeah. Really well.
I've got to admit, I was worried.
And Harrison as well.
He's been outstanding so far. I was really worried.
I had that bliss I am in
I used to work with him. You underestimate how big he is.
Yeah, he is.
He makes me feel small. He's got a good half a foot on me. He's absolutely massive.
Yeah,
Ben, you are small.
Don't stand up a minute.
I'm about to tell you, I'll get up weighing scales. Beat you on
Let
them.
me just put some rocks in the shoe.
But yeah, I think Fev. Yes, if I'm being honest, I think Fev, Lee. You've got to say London's going to be there or thereabouts.
Halifax haven't been bad either.
Halifax have been a bit hit and miss.
They'll struggle if they get injuries. They will struggle.
Yeah.
But York, you see,
Well,
Yeah,
York
yeah,
shocked
expected,
everybody
yeah.
because they went down to London, though, in Challenge Cup and won, and then they've not won a game in league. So where's that?
Kind of.
Yeah,
They've recruited really well.
Yeah.
They've recruited
Looking
well.
at their team in League Express last week, and I was like, how's that team not?
But it's same as Widnes. Widnes have recruited really well this year.
And they've had a few Warrington
And I
players,
thought,
haven't they?
yeah, they've had some Warrington play. I mean,
Joe read well.
Deck Patton.
Deck Patton played from this week
They had
against
someone else.
Dewsbury.
And then
Dewsbury
Mammo.
whacked them.
Jake Mammo as well.
Jake Mammo.
When you got
man
play
doesn't
like
make a team though, just because you got Deck Pat.
I think they had 3 Warrington players.
we
though.
spoke about
And
when
not bad players.
Yeah, true.
Paul
Yeah.
Sykes uses the conditions. Some of the stuff he was kicking early, getting 40-20s.
Yeah, he was.
I think when you've got, sometimes you can't. It's about having that brain, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah. Game management, isn't it?
Yeah.
Game management.
Surprised,
So anyway, yes, we've all decided Fev win this weekend. Yeah, well
Yes,
done.
they
Cool.
Yeah. on the back of a load of Leeds dual reg players.
Just 3.
3 good ones.
Yeah, just for
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So we will. Well, I say we. Ian and Adam will be bringing you live commentary on Friday night.
Hey,
From-
we'll be fine.
We'll be fine. We'll be
No,
fine.
Adam will.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Look, I set that new system up with all the wires and cables.
And I got there and he went,
Just
I
get
don't even know what I'm doing, I guess.
Well, guess right again this week.
Well,
But they will be bringing you
I
all the
basically
live,
qualified as an electrician.
all the
With all
live-
them wires you have, yeah.
I could basically rewire your house right now.
That's very true.
Live match commentary to come on Friday for Wakefield's
I'm just going to sit in the studio.
fixture. Emma will be nice and warm in the studio. We look forward.
I think I've worked out why. You've looked at the weather forecast, haven't you? It's
Oh,
going
is
to
it
be cold.
meant to
and-
belt it down?
No, it's just going to be cold.
Can't be any colder than it was a minute ago.
I'm sure you've done
That
that.
was
Salford were terrible on Sunday, weren't they? Cold wise.
And anyone sees me in Rolling Shack after the game, hanging about, If Wakey lose, buy me a pint.
Cheer him up.
If they win, buy me a pint.
It's easy enough to remember that, isn't it?
There you go.
Right?
Win-win.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we shall see you all next week.
Yes.
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 Do we
Oh, it's
have it?
mine. I'm technical.
Your
technical man.
technical support today.